Meet Ophelia, just an ordinary Spanish adolescent girl in 1944. Never mind. I don't think anyone in Spain during the Francoist period was living a normal life. Ophelia here has had it extra rough though, and is now experiencing some unusual things. Along with the post-Spanish Civil War tensions brought upon by her stepfather, Ophelia is being summoned to do a list of tasks to grant her entry into another dimension where she will become a princess. Try juggling just those two things, not to mention a sick pregnant mother and forced social isolation. But for this video, let us eliminate the possibility of the fairy tale realm. What would modern psychology tell us about Ophelia, and can we diagnose her using the DSM5? The severity of Ophelia's symptoms gives us a long list that draws up several possible diagnoses, but one stood out to me because of Ophelia's particular situation. Ophelia's delusions are firmly centered around the fact that she doesn't belong in this reality, so I decided to select a diagnosis that involves these types of fantasies. Ophelia's disconnect with reality and self brings us to the category of dissociative disorders. There is one diagnosis, or should I say two, that are combined that match Ophelia's symptoms pretty well: depersonalization and derealization disorder. I believe that Ophelia is more on the derealization spectrum of this. Let's look at the criteria for derealizations. Experiences of unreality or detachment with respect to surroundings, individuals, or subjects are experienced as unreal, dreamlike, foggy, lifeless, or visually distorted. The key here is that Ophelia is aware of the two distinct realities, and these experiences only have to occur more than once, which Ophelia demonstrates several breaks. The respect for her surroundings with her dreamlike hallucinations is another critical factor. When Ophelia crawls into the tree and experiences her first transition to this reality, she is aware of the reality she's leaving behind. This reality is more enticing and makes her feel like she doesn't belong in the real world. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a princess? Another criteria that Ophelia matches is the distress in her social life. A common theme of the story is that Ophelia is making disastrous mistakes in her social life with the pursuit of her delusions. Finally, let's look at why this diagnosis doesn't work. The respect for the two realities is diminished when Ophelia creates doorways with magical chalk that affect her real world. Without that respect, and the intensity of the hallucinations, this leans towards another diagnosis. That doesn't mean Ophelia isn't experiencing comorbidity with other diagnoses that cause these hallucinations to be much worse. Unfortunately, due to the timeline of this story, I don't think Ophelia is going to receive the help that she needs, so I hope that she finds her way to her fantasy world where she can be her princess. Ophelia's mind